sexy people. It is Dave. It's him.
It's me.
Back from Epidemic for another album review or EP review.
EP review. Come on, Dave. Eh?
I jumped the gun there.
This is how you get the internet up in arms.
Sorry.
Doth thee not know that this release is an EP?
Doth was last week.
Doth, that's right. Aye.
The jokes will keep on coming.
So for this review, no, they won't. Let's put an end to that.
Duncan and I have been checking out the new release from Stockholm hardcore crew, Godmother. The band's EP, Sinneseld, will be released on May 10th. With its debut album, Makt Behov, released in 2015, Godmother caught the ear of the Dillinger Escape Plan's Ben Weinman, who went on to release the band's 2017 album on his own label, Party Smasher Inc., and to give the band an opening slot on one of Dillinger's final farewell shows in New York later that year. Weinman endorsed the band with these words: "After 20 years of touring the world and playing thousands of shows and thousands of bands, it's hard to impress me, but Sweden has done it again. Godmother is an undeniable force majeure that demands attention like bands did in the old days, by just being that fucking good. Torch officially passed." Returning now in 2024, Godmother is back with Sinneseld, the fourth in a series of 9-letter titles, all in the band's native Swedish. The word Sinneseld is an archaic description of mental illness, translating to English as mind fire. Vocalist Sebastian Campbell states, "The world has changed a lot for the worse in the time between Epidemic and Sinneseld. We have struggled to hold on to mental health and our sense of purpose with the reality around us." With the world in a fragile state as ever, and with the band members building families in the midst of it, Campbell and guitarist Max have both children on the way, and drummer Michael has just welcomed his second child.
A bunch of mad shaggers.
A feeling of carpe diem pervades Sinneseld, where
I'm feeling a whole lot of fucking, is that what I'm thinking? Nice.
Epidemic was lean and mean. Sinneseld sees the band exploring new musical directions, as if to say, the time is now, try everything, do it today. It's our most sprawling release musically, says Campbell. Sinneseld was mixed by Godmother's Michael Dahlstrom and mastered by Cult of Luna's Magnus Lundberg.
Oh, Magnus.
Woo! So we reviewed the last EP.
Yes, from straight up fucking savage fire.
Yeah, it was. I was excited. I'm pretty sure we said at the end of that EP, like, you want to hear whatever's next really soon, whenever you've got it.
I also think we may have said we want something long form.
I'm pretty sure we did.
And the guys were like, "No."
Did you say less than 8 minutes?
Yeah, they were like, I think they did it just to spite us.
I think they did. I kind of thought the next thing would be a full length, because I think their last album was like that 2017. I think.
There's also a part of me that appreciates the hustle of, I don't want to give away too much here, really well produced, like straight up, right in your face, fucking savage hardcore. You know what I mean? Like sometimes having your audience craving more is not a bad thing.
True.
So, and
plus with all the shagging they're doing, they've not got time to make a full length album. I mean, they just do not have the time.
Yeah, this is under 8 minutes.
Under 8 minutes, Duncan.
5 tracks. Yeah. Do the math.
Yeah. It's an easy one to slot into your working day, Duncan. What I dug about this though is the fact that they're still trying new things. Like,
oh yeah, this is different beast.
Yes,
like there's new skills.
There is.
A plenty. And dare I say, hint, just a smidge of old school Every Time I Die, which makes my heart sing.
Yes, there is.
Cowbell as well, just in case we did you ask for cowbell, Dave?
Always. Yeah, as you say, it's fresh, but they're still like, okay, but here's some material that's still going to rip your face off at the same time. And this still has like that ferocity of a Godmother release, but also like kind of sees them kind of venture into almost more accessible territory. And I'm down with that, Duncan. I am down with that. Things kick off in a typical Godmother fashion, with the pedal firmly to the floor. It's actually a much faster opening than the 2022 EP. But it's still firmly rooted in that kind of like really aggressive hardcore punk. But it wasn't quite as avant-garde as I think it was Host Body was the opening of
That's
the
right, yeah,
2022
yeah.
EP. There's something kind of less jarring about this. Even there's like a solo in it which sounds very like kind of traditional in the track. And that like accessibility just kind of continues on like massively into the second track, which is Big Things Coming. And I was the same as you. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a little bit of Every Time I Die I hear there?
And then the cowbell kicked in, and you were
And I was
like,
yeah,
yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I loved every 2 minutes and 11 seconds of it.
Yeah, it's the longest song on here. It's the closest you get to like a
Yeah.
single length track. And actually, if they released this as a single, I'm not saying that they haven't, they probably have. This is what I would lead with as a single.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. The thing is though, it's not such a departure that you couldn't just slide in and listen to any other song on this.
Yeah.
Even though it is, I always loathe about saying the word commercial. There's something marketable about this track. How about that? It doesn't sit so against the grain of everything else either side. So
Yeah, I think this is a really cool side of Godmother. I think it is more infectious. It's kind of straight to the point, and it's even the playful side of the band is really cool to hear on this. Having that cowbell, it kind of adds this kind of streak of something more kind of upbeat to it. Even though it still like feels like it's ripping you in two. Breacher also has a more kind of easier to kind of digest sound, but there's some kind of cleaner vocal parts added in, almost kind of sitting like a kind of noise rock kind of type territory. And the kind of use of that, there's a kind of guitar slide that they use.
yeah, it's like a glass slide or something. That kind of it works really, really well.
Yeah, it was kind of like. It was like almost kind of like the cowbell, where it adds that kind of more playful side to their sound, which I quite liked. Human Plus is probably the exception on here, where it's just like a straight up like savage track. It's like 49 seconds of a kind of vicious grind punk, full of blasts, really kind of guttural vocals, which are they're actually provided by a guy called Robin Hansen from Prescription Death, and it's just like a pure adrenaline shot, which. When your EP is under 8 minutes, probably isn't required, but it kind of works, to be honest. And then Spellcraft finished things off in a kind of like blistering fashion. It's still heavily hardcore and kind of grind laden, but there's a little smidge of the black in some of the guitar kind of lead work, which I thought was a really cool addition. This is like when I finished it, I was like, is there anything this band can't actually do? Like.
Release an album?
Yeah, apart from that, if you want the kind of the throat punching savagery, you've got that. If you want catchy and playful, yep. If you want it wrapped up in a production that will spit in your face, done. You know what I mean? Like, I think when Ben Wyman said this band was an undeniable force majeure like 6-7 years ago, I don't think they'd even hit their peak, to be honest, back then.
Nah.
Now they are, like, and they sound kind of incredible doing it. That they seem to just get better on every release. I think I actually like this better than the last one. And the last one was a fucking absolute fucking blast of an EP. So I'm excited that they're still back. They're still doing stuff, albeit it's an EP. But I'm just glad they're still releasing material every couple of years. I'm happy with that. I would like a full length at some point. Just putting that out there, guys. Something a bit longer would be nice, but if you want to keep doing this, I'm also happy. What about yourself? You
really isn't much to add on what you said.
I know, it is 8 minutes long.
I think this is pretty flawless, to be honest with you. Down to the placement of the songs, like you said before, first one straight for the jugular, second, the third one, bit more playful, but fucking cool as fuck. Fourth one kind of cleans your palate. Spellcraft finishes super strong and out. And I prefer one of the very rare occasions where I go back and listen to the previous release because we had done a review on it. So I listened to like kind of side by side because it's easy to do when the releases are friggin' next to nothing. I prefer the production here. I felt the production in the previous one was just a tad bit cold, a little bit too Scandinavian, if you know what I mean. This one has a warmth about it that I think really accentuates the guitar playing and all the quirks that are in the band. Vocally, I think this is also the best thing they've done. I think there's a little bit more going on here. Like Godmother are almost the exception that proves the rule that releasing on a relatively frequent basis but shorter releases means that you never really lose your audience or the attention. I, like yourself, would love to see something kind of longer form from them, but then this might just be a way of easing themselves back into doing stuff after like the family stuff and all the rest.
Yeah.
If there's 2 kids on the way, I can't imagine they're going to be like jumping to do an album. And to be honest with you, if every other year we get another Godmother EP and it's of this quality, then we're being fucking spoiled. Yeah. So, and yeah, to me, they are still one of the more exciting acts in this sphere, which is there's a lot of bands that are trying to do this sort of stuff. I don't think many of them have the dexterity of bringing in elements of different styles and making it just sound core to their overall sound as Godmother do. This EP fucking rocks.
Yes. Okay, so lastly, scores for Sinneseld by Godmother. I couldn't find anything I disliked about it, to be honest. And I think we both scored the last one a 5.
I mean, yeah. How do you not give this a 5, Dave?
Yeah, it's as good, if not better, than the last EP. I actually quite like this little kind of more infectious, catchy side to them. But I think it works really well with other stuff that's just kind of straight up kind of savage as well. So it's a really cool kind of blend that they've got going on this EP. And as I said, I'd like to hear them kind of expand on that, do it over a full album. That would be fucking awesome. Yeah, it's a 5 for me. And yourself?
Easy 5. Like,
Easy 5.
Yeah, like, this is, for all the reasons you said, this is, in my opinion, better than the previous release, and the previous release was flawless. So, Godmother continue just raising that bar and meeting it. Yeah, well done, guys. It's absolutely fucking amazing, and God knows when you'll be back over here, if you're ever going to come over here, or when you're releasing another thing. But we'll wait and see.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep shagging. Keep writing good music. And we'll keep reviewing it.
I like that this is now the formal goodbye of Metal Epidemic when you're leaving a colleague that you've been speaking to. It's been lovely seeing you. Keep shagging, and I'll catch you later. Bye.
Godmother, Sinneseld out on May 10th. Links below at the band to the pre-order. Check it out. Have a listen, and fucking love it. That is the review. Thank you for checking it out. We'll be back with another review very soon, but until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.